Café de Paris butter. It's a fantastic butter that you can cut slices out of and put it on top of steaks when you've cooked them. There's an awful lot of ingredients, so hold on. I've got 250 grams of softened butter. I'm going to start with the dry ingredients, which is a generous pinch of oregano. This is curry powder, a generous pinch of that, cayenne pepper, and a generous pinch of paprika. The last dry ingredient going in, about half a teaspoon of black pepper. Mix in all the dry ingredients. Gone in next are the wet ingredients. There was a tablespoon of lemon juice, a tablespoon of ketchup, a teaspoon of Worcester sauce, 2 teaspoons of capers finely chopped, a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1 garlic clove mushed up with some salt, and a teaspoon of Madeira. Give that a stir. I should say, if you haven't got Madeira, I didn't have Madeira, I used masala instead. You should also put in some orange zest, but I haven't got an orange. Lastly, we're going to add in the herbs. It's a tablespoon of parsley chopped, a tablespoon of chives, and a tablespoon of thyme leaves, and whisk thoroughly to combine. I've got a piece of baking parchment. I'm going to put the butter in roughly a log shape on the baking parchment and roll it to make it a cylinder, and put that in the fridge until you're ready to use it. The Café de Paris butter has been in the fridge all day. I can't remember if I said it before. This will keep in the fridge for a week, but then after that you can freeze it for up to 6 months. And when you freeze it, what I suggest you do is freeze it in sections so that you don't have to defrost the whole thing. Café de Paris butter. It's worth the effort. It's one of those little things that you add to a dish. I took this out of the sous vide machine after 24 hours. I appreciate that what I'm about to do won't appeal to everyone, because this is one of the rare times where I'm using a piece of equipment that not many of you will have, but I also think it's important to share some of the cooking experiences that I've had. I'm using a sous vide. So this is the sous vide machine, and for this cook, and it's basically, I'm using one of my own pans. You need a deep pan. So I've set the sous vide to 55 degrees, and I'm going to set a timer for 24 hours because this recipe, I have this huge piece of, it's a beef rib, it's a single beef rib, it weighs about 1.5 kilos. I'm going to generously salt it. It's already salted on the other half. You will also need your vac seal machine. You could do it in those bags where you can, you know, the self-seal bags, and get all the air out. I'm going to pepper it also on both sides. I'm going to put it in a vac seal bag. I'm going to put some butter in, a few stalks of thyme. I've got some rosemary, that's going in. I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the other side. I'm then going to seal this in the vac seal machine, which is just here. This is vac sealed. That will then go in the water when it reaches 55 degrees, and it's 1.5 kilos, and it's going to go in for 24 hours at that really low temperature. All programmed from my phone, which I can't show you because I'm filming on my phone. This is now set at 55 degrees, for 24 hours. I'm dropping it in. So it's completely submerged for 24 hours. Forget about it. And now it's just a question of getting colour on it because it's cooked through. Is mashed potato, usually with something like kale, cabbage, and champ is mashed potato with spring onions. I like to combine the two. I've got 1/4 of one of those sweetheart cabbages, very finely shredded. I've got 4 spring onions, finely chopped, and I have cooked and mashed 3 largish potatoes. potatoes, and I'm melting about 25 grams of butter. The butter is just starting to bubble. I'm going to put the cabbage in first and give that a couple of minutes to just braise in the butter. Give that a little hit of salt. Cabbage has had a couple of minutes. I'm now going to put in the spring onions. Cook your vegetables to the way you like them. A little bit of pepper. I'm dropping in a little bit more butter because the butterier the better. And now I'm going to stir in the potato. If you prefer kale or cavolo nero, fork it through. Spring onion and cabbage mashed potato. What's not to love? Et voila. This isn't really a recipe, this is a serving suggestion using up some of the recipes that I have shared. I've got some colcannon, Café de Paris butter, which I have defrosted, and a couple of salmon fillets. I have seasoned the salmon fillets with salt and pepper, and I'm going to grill them simply for, looking at the thickness, probably 5 minutes, but I'll keep an eye on them. These have been in for 5 minutes. I've shown you how to test fish doneness, is to use a cake thing or a sharp knife and just touch it against your lip. It's just warm, which is how I like it. I do not like overcooked fish. So now I am going to just show you how to serve it. The skin should stick to the bottom of the pan. It's nice and hot. Now I'm going to put the butter on, and that is going to melt. Oh, I think that is going to be utterly delicious. The butter, you can see, is melting onto it. James, can you just repeat what you just said?
This might be the best chicken she's ever made. It's very, very good.
My son is coming over today and he wanted a roast. I hope I'm not going to disappoint him because I'm deviating from my usual roast chicken, which I think you've all seen. I salted my chicken all over using kosher salt yesterday. I'm just going to pat it dry. I am just going to trim off the wing tips just for aesthetics. I'm going to keep those, and I will throw them in the pan when I roast this so that they can be added to stock. I'm also going to take the top bits off of the legs. Next thing you need to do, which again, I think I've shown you before, is to gently, very gently start to work the skin away from the breast meat. I have defrosted from my freezer. The recipe is on my YouTube channel, or it's here on Instagram if you can find it. I've defrosted some slices of my Café de Paris butter, and I'm going to slide these under the skin. I'm going to leave this to get to room temperature. We're eating quite early today because he's coming down on his motorbike and he needs to get home before the storm hits. I don't want him out there. I've got a bit left. I'm just going to shove it in there. If you have pre-salted your bird, as I have, you certainly don't need to salt it anymore, but I am going to put a little bit of pepper on. Preheat the oven to 220 degrees and put it in, legs first, and I'm going to put it in for an hour, but I'm going to get it out halfway through and baste it. This has had half an hour, so give it a baste with that gorgeous butter. Back in the oven for another 30 minutes. I'm trying something new here. I did a poussin recipe the other day and I rested the poussins breast side down and I'm going to do the same with this chicken. I'm going to rest this wrapped in foil for 15 minutes. I don't know how it'll turn out, but it's always good to experiment. Sorry, James, I'm experimenting on you. I'm just going to turn this chicken out now. Oops, oh, it's falling apart onto my chopping board. Just going to, I'm not even sure I have to carve it. It's falling apart. Oh. Carving the breast meat. I am just going to taste a little bit to see if it's nice and moist. James, can you just repeat what you just said?
This might be the best chicken she's ever made. It's very, very good.
Daisy's still sitting there. Daisy wants more.